He is a 6-time Stanley Cup winner. Wow. Bryan Trottier, Hockey Hall of Famer. How you doing?
Good morning, gentlemen.
You know what?
I'm good. I'm really good.
And are you good, Greg? Are we good here? We're good.
Sure, fantastic. It's great. Brian's a great guy, and let's not forget you're on that bench with the Colorado Avalanche winning that Game 7 against the New Jersey. Does your coaching Stanley Cup ring hold the same prominence as your playing Stanley Cup rings, Brian?
You know what? They're all fantastic. It's hard to pull a favorite Stanley Cup. They're all special, I think, is the best way to say it. Like your kids, how do you pick a favorite child? But I think what really happens is there's a different kind of appreciation on each Stanley Cup. And that's what makes them unique. The path to get there, the teams, you're playing against, obviously the roster and, just little snippets through the whole playoffs, what you're overcoming, some adversities, some highlights, moments, those kind of things. But the Stanley Cup in Colorado was spectacular. What a team we had. Joe Sakic, captain, Patrick Roy in the net, the defense, Rob Blake, Adam Foote, Ray Bork, just to name three. It was just really a special group, young kids, Chris Drury, Alex Tanguay, Milan Hayduk. We had so much fun with that team. Bob Hartley, head coach, Jacques Luce. We're very proud of that, very proud of the team. Obviously, to celebrate with Denver and Colorado as a whole and all the fans. It was a really, really fun time. But, it makes you reflect back to your first Stanley Cup on Long Island and obviously the first Stanley Cup here in Pittsburgh. And it seems like the older I get, the more I like to reflect and reminisce. And so thanks for the phone call, guys.
The 4 Stanley Cups that you won with the New York Islanders, and I think we were shocked when we saw one particular stat. 16 players played on all 4 of those Stanley Cup champions. That is a remarkable number and a group that you went into the dressing room and you knew everybody all the time. That can never happen anymore.
It's going to be tough because you obviously have free agency. You have salary cap. I think it forces teams to make decisions that don't side of what they'd like to do. But I think, Bill Torrey did a wonderful job keeping that team together. Everybody wanted to be a part of that team. All 14, 16 guys, that nucleus was a very powerful nucleus. It was just five of us made the Hall of Fame, I think. And, I think Bobby Nystrom, of course, in our hearts is a Hall of Famer all time. But, he scores the biggest goal of my career, makes me a champion for the first time. There's not a guy on that roster I don't love. We've got just great memories. All their children, they're all young adults now having their own families. And it's wonderful to see that the success was not necessarily makes us big-headed or, above anybody else or entitlements or anything like that. All guys are just regular guys. We know everything there is to know about. They know all my bad stuff as much as they know about the good stuff, and we love each other for that. It's like a family, and nobody's disowned anybody yet. It's just a tremendous group. We won, I think it was something like 19 series. I think it was 19 straight series, almost getting to the 5th one. Then the creepy Oilers came along. But, just a wonderful, wonderful group of guys. And, it's great special memories, like through some tough teams. And obviously a good bounce here or a bad bounce there can change your luck. And we see that all the time in the playoffs. And that's just another one of those things you got to overcome.